Hello and welcome to the Nintendo News Network. And yes, my amazing audience, it is time for me to talk about ports. Man, do I hit all those hot topics. First DLC, now ports. And today we will be looking at double dipping in the case for ports. Sounds like a Harry Potter title, doesn't it? Do 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 do. I don't know if that's actually the song. Anyways, a chunk of the games on the Switch are ports. So why do some ports, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, get not a lot of backlash, then ports like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze get fire raining down from the heavens at them, and at the same time be praised beyond compare, which it deserves, and why I think ports are a good thing for the Switch if done right? Well, first things first, ports are nothing new. There were ports back on the GameCube with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, a port of the original Sonic Adventure 2 from the Dreamcast. And look at those prices. There's a $10 difference. And the battle port honestly didn't do too much. Added characters to a basic multiplayer mode that no one played, and some features for chows. $10 launch price difference between the two? Sounds familiar, and I don't remember people getting too upset about this one. Of course, the internet was still young, so that was probably a huge factor in that one. Remember all the ports on the Game Boy Advance? The NES Classic series were just the NES games re-released, again for $20 each. The series included Super Mario Bros., Donkey Kong, Ice Climbers, and more, a total of 10 here in the US. And in Japan they got even more, well over 20. The e-reader was in a way a port machine. Yes, it worked with a few sets of Pokemon cards and those Animal Crossing cards, but really it had a chunk of NES games you could swipe and play on your GBA that was the focus in America. Japan again got a lot more out of this fun but failure of an accessory. So with that brief history of ports from the yesteryears, by no means is that every port ever, we jump back to the Switch. The Switch has a plethora of ports. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokken Tournament DX, Skyrim, Doom, Tropical Freeze, Splatoon 2... Wait, how'd that get on here? Seriously, I see so many people calling Splatoon 2 a port, and it drives me nuts. It's a sequel, not a port. Just because you use the same assets doesn't mean it's the same game. Anyways, people complain that the Switch has too many ports. Well, they have a lot, but too many? No. Making ports, especially ports of games on the Wii U, is just smart. The Wii U, from a financial sense, was a failure. As of September 2017, 13.56 million Wii U's were sold. As of January of 2018, 14.86 million Switches have been sold. Over 1 million more than the amount of the Wii U's in its entire lifespan. And that number will only continue to grow. Imagine the numbers when Super Smash Bros. And Pokemon get released. But why are those numbers important in regards to ports? Well, making a video game is not cheap by any means. Games can take years to create and build and be ready to be on the market. Remember when I said the Wii U was a failure from a financial sense? Well, that is very true, but the games on the other hand were just amazing. So why not port them over to the Switch, which will have a much larger install base? It is why we got some ports from the Wii U to the 3DS. But now Mario Kart 8 gets new life, Pokken Tournament can grow its audience better, and Tropical Freeze can get the recognition it truly deserves. Look, I will not spend 10 minutes praising Tropical Freeze. Enough people have. But I will say this, it is a very solid platformer, probably one of the best ever. The team at Retro did what Rare did back in the Super Nintendo days. The sequel was such a step up from the original, and both the original Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country Returns are amazing games. So why all the rage and hatred over a $60 game, which is the normal price for Switch games? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was $60 and the Wii U version was $50, and it didn't get people talking this much. What's that? Oh right, Mario Kart had all that DLC. But what about Pokken Tournament? Oh yeah, new characters that were exclusive to the Japanese arcade version. Well, what about Skyrim? Oh yeah, DLC again, and that whole thing that Skyrim has to be on every console ever. But Tropical Freeze has Funky Mode! So let's backtrack a bit before I get more into Tropical Freeze. All these ports set out to do two things. First, help pad out the release schedule of newer games while building a strong year 1 and 2, and second, give people who didn't own a Wii U a chance to play the games. But what about us gamers who did have a Wii U? I owned Mario Kart 8, but without hesitation, I bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe day 1. Not because I didn't have anything to play. I mean, I still had hundreds of Korok seeds to find. but because I really loved the game and wanted to play it again, and in handheld mode. Why did I buy Skyrim? Well, truth be told, I actually never owned it before. Yes, I admit it, the Switch version is my first time playing Skyrim. A port gave me the ability to play a game I never got to. One of the reasons to have ports. Not everyone, even if they're on the console it was originally released on, can get every game. Where those games had DLC with them, and in Mario Kart's case, a new revamped battle mode as well, Tropical Freeze only gave us Funky Kong. And when I say only gave us Funky Kong, I mean that in a positive way. This guy is a ton of fun to play as. It is an easy mode. Heck, it's more like a god mode, truth be told. But some of the tricks you can do with him and the speedruns, he's a ton of fun. But does this deserve to be $10 more than the Wii U version? And yes, I'm going by the launch price, not the current price of Tropical Freeze on Wii U. Well, I can answer that two ways. First, if you've never played Tropical Freeze, then yes, it is worth $60. If you have the Wii U version, I go back and forth. I lean more towards no, mostly. There is not a lot of reason to grab it again, but if you need to fill a hole in your gaming time, I wouldn't say you are wasting your money by any means. I had Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, and I grabbed it for the Switch. I double dipped. But I myself don't regret it. I'm a huge Donkey Kong Country fan. I love the original trilogy. 64 has some fond memories, if not some Stockholmness feelings towards it due to how much time I put into it and getting everything. And Return and Tropical Freeze were great. I no longer have Tropical Freeze for Wii U. For a while there, I was selling most of my single player games once I completed them, something I regret now, but whatever. Yes, I could have gotten an older, used Wii U version, but I wanted to also buy and support the series. When a new game is not bought, Nintendo doesn't know if it is wanted or loved. In all honesty, I am shocked to even see Tropical Freeze on Switch. But everything deserves a second chance. Look, could they have made Tropical Freeze $50 or heck $40 and priced it aggressively to make it more appealing? Pun intended. Probably, but if sales are as good as they seem, they made a good decision. New players are discovering it. Players who already played it are enjoying it once again like myself. The thing about ports is you don't have to buy it if you don't want it. Just because your friend who never owned a Wii U and ignored you when you were praising it a few years ago is telling you to get it today, doesn't mean you have to do what they say. Save your money. Go to the eShop. There are a plethora of games on there. Or just dust off your old system and boot it up and play it. But with how successful ports are, don't expect them to go away anytime soon. And don't let anyone make you feel bad for double dipping when it is a great game. Now, in the case of triple dipping and Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, if you own the Wii U or the 3DS version, it's hard to tell you to grab it again. I myself had both, but if you only had the Wii U version or never owned it, especially, I would strongly suggest this one. With all the DLC from both versions and the graphical enhancement, plus the new ability to buy items in adventure mode instead of grinding them, which is new for the Switch version, the game is a lot of fun for Zelda fans. The ability to play as so many Zelda characters, not just Link, really makes me smile. Not all are great, and some can be boring to play as, but most are a ton of fun. It's just triple dipping on a game just doesn't sound like me. Quiet, you words that are randomly on my video. Anyways, thank you for joining us for a Nintendo News Network editorial. Next week is going to be a Smash related video concerning amiibos, and then the week after will be our exciting E3 prediction video. I'm hyped. I already have my list ready. Well, most of it. Every day something new changes. And of course, after E3, prepare for a reaction video. That same day is my goal. The next few weeks should be very exciting. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to repeat to myself, I don't need Hyrule Warriors a third time. I don't need Hyrule Warriors a third time. I don't need Hyrule Warriors a third time.